running backs. Who do you guys have number one in the running back category?
I like Travis Etienne. I just think he provides. It's pretty close between him and Najee Harris. I think.
I think it depends on what the team wants.
Yeah, it depends on what the team wants. Yeah. Travis Etienne provides a lot from a all-purpose standpoint. He's a great receiver.
Yeah, I was going to say he's Kamara.
He's a blocker too. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Ezekiel Elliott when he came out. Good receiver, really good blocker, lead blocker. So he's going to provide a lot to a team. He's not just a guy like, okay, Leonard Fournette, not a great receiver, right? When he came out, it was like, look, this guy's a three. He's probably a 2-down back because he's not really, he's not going to be a 3rd down back at all. Because he's not a great receiver. Now he's developed that part of his game a little bit, but even with the Bucs last year, he wasn't that great of a receiver.
Right. He definitely does Leonard Fournette does a lot of things well, but he does a lot of things not well.
Right.
And I think Travis Etienne, to me, Travis Etienne doesn't. There's not really anything he doesn't do well. He's just not that big.
He's explosive.
That's really the only thing.
He's a good pass catcher. He can even block if you need him to.
He's explosive too. He's got that breakaway speed. Najee Harris reminds me more of in the Leonard Fournette mold.
I have him kind of like a thicker, or a fat with a pH, like a Matt Forte.
Yeah, but he's got. Najee Harris he's just a strong dude. It's not like he's slow.
Yeah, in today's, I hate saying this because I feel like only old white guys on FS1 say it, but in today's NFL, I don't think Travis Etienne and Najee Harris are that close. With Najee Harris, it depends what the team's looking for. Travis Etienne could go on any team and be successful. Yeah. I think. Najee Harris, there's some systems and some situations where he just wouldn't thrive, but I just don't see unless you're asking him to be Derrick Henry, I don't see how Travis Etienne doesn't succeed.
Yeah, Najee Harris reminds me a lot of another Alabama running back, but Mark Ingram, very similar running style. Not incredibly fast, but certainly not slow. A good running back, really good running back. And
I don't know,
not a bad pass catcher, but there's nothing sitting there the breakaway explosiveness isn't quite there. So. I don't know. And he's got a lot of wear on those tires. He played so did Etienne. So that's the scary thing about
Alabama just pumps out running backs, and they don't there's so many of them. Every once in a while they hit, but I don't know. I'm always a little weary of them.
All their running backs have looked like linebackers since you go back.
And they always
Trent Richardson was a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you have
Eddie Lacy.
Yeah, Eddie Lacy, Derrick Henry, Bo Scarborough. Najee Harris follows that mold again, and Josh Jacobs was a pretty strong guy. They have their style. They have a format for sure. Right. But I think we're set at 1 and 2 between obviously Etienne and then Najee Harris. But right there is a little bit of a fall off 3 through 5. What do you guys have sitting around at 3?
I definitely like Javonte Williams the most next. Very similar build to Travis Etienne, just not as explosive. But I don't know. Him and his mate from Michael Carter, also from North Carolina. I kind of had them both next. I think Williams is definitely the premier of those two, but I think they both showed promise in that system. I just when you have another draftable running back next to you in the same system, it's just you just don't have as much tape on you. When you share the field with another guy who's pretty good, it's just hard to tell how good you can actually be on your own.
And my comparison with them is Auburn. It's going to show my age, but Auburn several years back with Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams. I think this is they were elite tandem in college at Auburn. I think I compare these guys at North Carolina. I compare these kind of the AAA version of them. I think they're solid running backs. I don't think any of them really have the ability to ever be that number one guy on any team. I think Javonte Williams is the best, though. I think he's a good complementary running back, and I think his ceiling could be a Nick Chubb. which
Yep.
that's high praise already. Whereas like Carter, I don't know. Obviously, Carter's a little bit smaller. He's quick. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like Tariq Cohen, maybe Duke Johnson. And I think maybe that might be a guy that's like a third rotation running back.
I think right now, I mean, it's not a great running back class.
No.
Which, I mean, the way the NFL's drafts now, like, there's really not a whole lot of. I mean, you're not gonna waste a top 10 pick on running backs anymore. Like, it's just not. Unless you've got a guy like a Saquon Barkley coming out, or a Christian McCaffrey or something like that, which is very rare. You're not really going to do that. So I mean, now you're looking at guys, even beyond Williams and Carter. You're looking at guys that, okay, what can they add to our passing game? Maybe even more than they can add to the running game. You get a guy like a James White, right? Who is just an incredible receiver. So he's going to stick around on a team, right? He's going to be a third down back. So you're finding guys now, like a Chuba Hubbard. I think he's going to find a roster because he can do all those type of things. Chris Evans even. I think he could maybe even fall on a roster. His problem is going to be that he didn't play a whole lot the last 2 years. But, he can even find himself on a roster because he's going to test well. He's going, as far as, at the combine and everything like that, he tested pretty good. He can catch. He runs good routes. Like those are the things that teams are going to look for now because, beyond the top two and really even beyond ETN, probably the top two, ETN and Harris. Now you're looking for guys, what are they going to add to an already established running back room? Are they going to actually add something to it? So like the Patriots, the way they've done it, with James White, he's not really going to be a guy that they're giving the ball to 25 times a game as far as running the ball. I mean, every once in a while he'll get a few games where he has a lot more carries, but they've typically had a running back beyond him. Whether it be LeGarrette Blount, whether it be a little bit of Deion Lewis every once in a while, a little bit of what's the guy from Georgia?
No Sean Moreno.
No.
Nick Chubb.
No.
Todd Gurley.
No.
Ugh.
Who's with him now?
Oh, and John Emery.
No, who's with him
LSU.
now?
He's LSU.
Mike Hart.
Oh my gosh. Who's on right now? Who is the running back right now?
At Georgia right now.
No, who is the Patriots running back?
Oh, Patriots. God,
yes.
I thought okay. So
James
Patriots,
White.
Lawrence Maroney.
No, it's
Danny Woodhead.
Sony Michel.
It's Sony Michel.
Danny Woodhead.
Lawrence Maroney.
How did I not come up with that? It was literally Nick Chubb and Sony Michel in Georgia.
Yes, so that's what I mean. They've typically had a bell cow guy who's more of a bigger back mold, and now they're gonna go. They're looking at guys that could probably fit that third down back receiver mold. So that's what guys teams are looking for now. And you're even getting into guys. You get down to the Chris Evans, Chuba Hubbard level where you're like, hopefully you can play special teams too.
I don't think more than 10 of these guys stick around for more than 3 years in the NFL.
No.
And so it is probably one of the worst classes to come out in recent years for sure. I think other guys that I have, Khalil Herbert from Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
He's another explosive guy. Once he gets down the field, gets past that second wave of linebackers, he can pull away. And ACC competition's relatively competent, so it's not like you're looking at a lot of film of his and being disappointed and okay, you're playing scrubs. But he reminds me a little bit of Lamar Miller.
Yeah.
And then I like Kenneth Gainwell, but he played at Memphis, so the competition's a little bit more lackluster there. But Gainwell kind of reminds me of throwback for the Giants, Ahmad Bradshaw. But he's a guy that can't help on special teams. So if that's what you're looking for on a team, I like Kenneth Gainwell at least right at the 5 spot. And then I kind of battled. I obviously put Michael Carter at 7 actually, but Javian Hawkins and then Chuba Hubbard, I have kind of battling out that 4 spot. I could not decide, so I just have both of them sitting 4.
I got you. Yeah.